Hey guys, Tattooed Squirrel here. So I want to address something that some people have been saying. As you can see, I just installed the new Cervini Stalker hood for the Bronco. But the one thing I want to talk about is this guy right here. And you're probably going, what the heck is that? So this is the rain guard. It has two weep holes on either side. And what this does is keeps the rain all from washing in on your engine bay and all your electricals. So the things that I've been hearing is the screws, or self-tapping screws that come with this, are insufficient in a sense. I'm going to try to rectify that, and I'm going to do that with some riv nuts, or I'm going to attempt to do that with some riv nuts. So I think we can do it. I think there's enough room. I'm only using, let me grab them. So these are actually M5s. So they're fairly small. Like I said, there should be enough room in that cavity. So what we're going to do is right here, we're going to put one. Right here, we're going to put one. And then we're going to do one there and one right there. So this thing comes with quite a few screws. So there's 4 on each side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the front, and like 6 or 7 or 8 of them in the back. So this thing actually sits like this up here in the cavity. So we're going to do 4 points, and we're going to see how that works. So let's get started. Now, as you know or notice, I have had this painted. You'll want to protect that paint. Put a little blue tape on there to drill out your holes to set your riv nuts. I am also getting the red line strut kit that you do have to rivet to the hood as well. So let's get started. For this, you'll need an M5 riv nut. You'll want to, like I said before, you want to tape off where the holes are, just like so. What this is going to do, this is going to allow you to drill the holes without damaging your paint. And you want to do this kind of slow. You don't really want to be rammy. You want to be, just take it slow. Make sure your holes are covered. Now, one other thing that I want to address. When drilling these holes, you want to take your drill bit and you want to put a piece of tape on there, probably 1/4 inch or so, because you don't want to go deep at all. You just want to go enough in that hood. Now, this does require you to drill into your new Cervini hood. But in the long run, you will be able to not have to worry about those screws. Now, one other thing I probably want to try to do is set this in here, and I might just go ahead and find a different hole location so that I can make the hole, because here's the thing, you don't want to go, you're not going to want to take your corners that didn't really work out. I'll probably do a time lapse of this. What I might do is go ahead and check the depth with this rivet. Okay, so back here in this back part, you've got about that much space, which appears to be plenty for those of you that want to do like I'm doing. So this is actually what this is going to do. This is going to allow me to seat a riv nut in the hood. And then I went to the local hardware store and picked me up some stainless steel flat washers and some 10/32. You will have to drill your four corners out, and you may have to use a smaller washer. You don't necessarily have to use a washer, but it would be a good idea to use the washer. So, painstakingly as this is, like I said, you want to go just in the hood, and that's it. Just enough to get your riv nut in there. Once you get your hole done, you can back that out, and you can see how there's not really a whole lot of damage to the hood itself. However, it does appear that I'm going to have to go just one bigger than a quarter. Nice and slow, nice and slow. And we're still just a little bit too tight. At 7/64. All right, so now that I've got my hole done, I've got a M5 riv nut you're just gonna nice and easy seat the riv nut. Don't overdo it. Just make it tight. Bring it out. And there you go. What you have is a location to put a screw in. So just to give you an idea, you're gonna go and drill that out to the right size. Now you have a decent little hole. Then, like I said, especially on these fronts, I'm gonna go ahead and use a stainless steel washer. So once you do all 4 corners, you'll have screws in there or bolts instead of regular self-tapping screws. Now, one thing you want to note is when you're installing this, you will want to use just a little bit of Loctite, but once that's in there, don't over tighten it. You know, just get it to where it's snug, and maybe just a little past there, because the last thing you want to do is rotate that riv nut inside the fiberglass. So I'll pause. Okay guys, I have completed the drilling, installing the riv nuts. I'll flip you around here so you can see what we're talking about. So as you can see, we're still with the Cervini hood, and on the 4 corners are now riv nut locations to utilize screws, bolts. Put you back on the tripod, kind of get you situated here so you can see what we're doing. Now I've got some, I believe they're 10/32 1/2" little bolts. These will be what I'll be using to secure the rain guard to the hood, just like so. So I'll get this one started. I'll come over here, grab my other one. Get it started, and then you can snug them up. As I stated before, you don't want to snug them up so tight that you spin the rivet inside the hood. I may go ahead and add a 3rd one in the center. However, I will have to, I'll measure the distance between here, make sure that it's right in the center, and I'll run 6. There is one back here in the center. Go ahead and mark that hole position. then as I stated, I'll go ahead and I'll run 6 total. But now you can see that eliminates the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 self-tapping screws. I will say, if you are not comfortable with performing this procedure, I would highly recommend that you seek your local body shop to do this. There are people that DIY. Obviously, like me, I will tell you, I am not responsible for any damage that you may incur during this process if you try to do it yourself. This is strictly an informational video to show that it can be done if you are willing to put in the time and you have the patience to do so. Again, this eliminates 20 some odd self-tapping screws and goes down to 6 just regular rib nut locations inside the fiberglass. Just keep that in mind. This is a process. This does take time. It does take patience. But the end result will be a lot better in the long run. So I'm going to go ahead. I'll cut the camera off. I'll finish doing the entire process. And I'll come back on and I'll show you the finished product. One thing I want to point out to you guys on these centers, because there's no previous holes, you will have to start out really small drill bit to get a pilot hole. This way, as you guys can see, these centers, there are no holes. So with a really small fine drill bit and a little bit of patience, just make a small hole once you're through, you're good. This will allow you to not booger up the paint. Then you can tape the hood so that you can make the bigger the hole after you get this pilot hole. If you notice, I'm moving my All right. Those are strictly pilot holes. Those are probably the most stressful out of the whole process, because now you can just go ahead and tape up your hole locations like so. Like so. Then you'll find where your hole is located, like such. You might actually have to search for it a little bit. But this is the crucial part. There it is. Found it. So as you guys can see, now that I have found those pilot holes, you can go ahead and make your bigger hole. Just like that. Go ahead and take your tape off. And again, just like before, you'll go ahead and you'll add rib nuts. One more. In the front. Where's our hole at? You'll hear a little bit of crunching and of the fiberglass. Don't be alarmed from that. What that is that's the rib nut taking down the fiberglass inside the rib nut as it crimps to the fiberglass. So that is a normal sound. Don't worry about that so much. But as you can see, now we've got 6 rib nut locations. And you can go ahead and add your rain guard. Let's go ahead and try to do the centers first. May have to get a longer bolt. Leave them a little bit loose till you can get all of the bolts in. This will allow you a little bit of play, side to side, up and down. Just like so. Again, cinch it down on the plastic. Don't go over tight it because you don't want to spin that rib nut inside of the fiberglass. And there you have it, just like that. So let's take you off the stand. And now you can see that the rain guard is now secured with only 6 locations instead of 21. You know, it's very sturdy. It's not going to go anywhere, which is a good thing. So if all you squirrely little adventurers decide you want to do a DIY project and you like the Cervini hood, you can go to Cervini.com. This is their Stalker hood. This is the modification installation for the rain guard. The rain guard is specifically designed to keep water off of the engine bay and all the electricals. There's 2 weep holes, one left and right, driver, passenger, however you prefer to orient that. And you do have 20 some odd self-tapping screws to put that on. I didn't really want to deal with all that. So this is an informational video. Again, I am not liable for any damage that you cause to your hood once you order it, you install it, and you attempt this process. This is just how I preferred to do it. So thanks for watching. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and follow over on Instagram, Tattooed Squirrel. Tattooed Squirrel out.